Hey, good to see you.
Hey,
Janetta, how did the move go, girl? You gotta let us know. Dr. Sue, what's up? Listen, this is going to be a session. We have a couple of hours to spend together today. So I need you guys to bring me the energy. The more energy you give me, the more energy I'll give you. Come off of mute, come on screen. It's an intimate crowd today. So I want you guys to get the most out of this. And because if you are looking to add either cross the 100K mark or add another 100K to your bottom line, drop a 100 in the chat, 100 emoji or 100 in the chat. Go ahead and drop that in the chat. Yes, we got some people dropping. And the reason that is so important is because it's important to set the intention. So how many of you have been getting my 3-minute coaching? My 3-minute coaching notes. Did you get it, Devin? We got some people here in the
Yes, sir, I got it.
Did you get it? Yeah, so we were talking a lot about intention, right? Being intentional. And when I first started entrepreneurship over 12 years ago, I was an event planner. And I didn't know how to generate sales. I didn't know how to close sales, to charge for my services. Some of you may have heard my story before, but I remember my first client was a baby shower. And y'all, I did the food, I did the decor, I did the pre-planning. The baby mama was asking me to fix plates. How many of you can guess? Who can guess how much I got paid to do that baby shower? Come off of mute and tell me. I can't see y'all, so you have to come off of mute and let me know something.
$500?
500, I wish. Who else? Who else can get? $100. $100. And at the time, I didn't know what I was supposed to charge or what I was supposed to get, but I knew it was supposed to be more than that. And I moved to Atlanta, where I built my business from ground zero. And I mean, when I say rock bottom, I mean rock bottom. Like I had eviction notices on the door. I was afraid of my lights. Well, my lights kept getting cut off, taking cold showers. Every time the tow truck would pull up outside in my apartment complex, I would pray to God it wasn't there to repossess my car. Now, I don't know if any of you know anything about struggle, but here's the thing that I've learned. When you're at rock bottom, your only choice is to go where?
Oh.
Your only choice is to go where? Your only choice is to go where?
I said
Most
up.
definitely up.
Your only choice is to go up. And so your rock bottom moment may not be as dramatic as mine, or maybe it's worse than mine. But here's what I want you to know right now, that you've been given a gift, you've been given a vision, you've been given a purpose to stand on in this world, and you can make impact and a difference. And I truly believe that entrepreneurship is the key to unlock freedom. That's freedom of time, energy, and money. How many of you agree with that today? How many of you agree with that today? Come on in person.
100% agree.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Listen, it truly can be the key to freedom. And so when I started to take off in my business, and we'll go over that training, and we'll go over that story another time. I went from $100 baby showers to working with some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in the country, like Coca-Cola, BET, Delta Airlines, Microsoft, and Bronner Brothers. And here's what I noticed about working with those Fortune 500 companies. Everything was intentional. And they use certain vehicles to drive sales for their business. What I enjoyed doing was taking those strategies and giving them to my small business owners, my fellow small business owners. And so kind of to drive to how I got here today, the pandemic came. How many of y'all remember what Rona was doing to everybody? We didn't know what life looked like. And I had just brought in $1 million contract to my job at the time as an event manager. So I was an event manager at my day job, and I also had an event planning business. And I just brought in $1 million contract. I was celebrated. I was given a corner office, Devin. Taya, they gave me a nice bonus. And let me tell you, I spit that bonus. And then they announced the pandemic, y'all. And while I thought that job security was a thing, how many of you have ever thought job security was a thing.
Yes.
When I thought that job security was a thing, but 2 weeks after they announced the pandemic, they announced my departure. And I found myself asking God, what am I going to do about my event planning business? I don't know, virtual wasn't a thing. So yes, we had Zoom, but like virtual events was not a thing before 2020. And I just didn't know what this meant for my trajectory. And I tried everything, y'all. I tried Uber delivery. What is it? Uber Eats.
Uber Eats.
I tried them damn Susu boards. Who got caught up in them Susu boards? I tried everything. And it wasn't until people started asking me, Nick, we saw that you built your business, and can you help me build mine? And so I would be on Zoom calls, helping people with marketing strategies, sales strategies, teaching them what I learned from working with Coca-Cola and BET and all these big companies, and implementing it on a small business level. And it wasn't until a couple of months after I worked with my godmom that I asked her, I said, hey, how much have you generated in sales, or in revenue, since you started the business? And she had generated over $100,000 in 6 months.
Wow.
Over $100,000 in 6 months. It was at that moment that I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm called for something greater. I'm called for something different. That rock bottom story that I talked about earlier, it was all a part of a plan and a purpose. And I don't know if who all in here are people of faith or whoever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever. But I truly believe that set me on a path and a journey to where I am today. And so if you are ready to jump in and to step into your path, make some noise. Make some noise.
Yes, most definitely.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's right. Got some lively folks in the chat. I want to talk to you today. We're going to walk through a couple of different things because again, we got a couple of hours, okay? And I promise you, it's going to be jam packed. We're going to talk about your 6-figure marketing plan. We're going to talk about how to make predictable sales in your business and how to scale your sales. We're going to talk about how to delegate, operate, and automate. And then we're going to wrap this thing up with putting a plan in place on how you either are going to cross the 6-figure mark or add another 6 figures to your bottom line in the next 12 months. So when I work with companies like Microsoft and Bronner Brothers, here's what I noticed is that even though they were having these things like trade shows, I was there to be the trade show coordinator. And even though they were having these things like trade shows and these different events and launch events, they use these events as vehicles to cash. All right, I want you to say the fast path to cash.
The fast path to cash
Is events.
events.
All right, that's the first path. So fast path to cash, or fast path to success. Let's say that. So they would use these events, right? And at these events, while it was a trade show and they brought in vendors and they brought in speakers, they were launching their products and they were beta launching their products. So their product wasn't perfect. It wasn't like the finish. It was in very much beta version. So I think I was talking to Terrence about a month ago. And Terrence, we were talking about you creating a beta product, right? So here's what you need to know. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be out there, right? I want you to drop perfect does not exist. Say that with me.
Perfect does not exist.
Okay? Don't try to get it perfect. Just get it out there. So one vehicle is events, all right? And then when I had my first webinar, when I was stepping into this business consulting world, how many of you on here are thinking about using webinars to market your business? Anybody drop a 1 in the chat? Hey, Taya, can you actually, since the screen's not working, will you scoot over here so I can see the screen?
Of course.
Okay, cool. I need to get my folks. So when I did my first webinar, let me tell you.
You have points.
Okay. When I did my first webinar, let me tell you, it was terrible. I love teaching, but I did not know how to teach in a way where people would consume and take action. And so here's where I went wrong. I was teaching people like the 5 components of a business based off of what I had learned in college. And I went deep and people was like, Okay, but no one bought my course or program. How many of you have dealt with that before? How many of you have tried to sell? Either you've been on a sales call, or you've done a webinar, or you've done a challenge, or you're thinking about sales. For those of you who are launching, and it was crickets, right? Well, it was crickets because number one, I only had like 5 people on there, which that's okay. But number two, I had to construct it in a way that got people a small result and that helped build the know, like, and trust. And so the first webinar that I ever did, there was like 5 people, 3 people stayed till the end. It was a mess. But the second webinar that I did, and when I say second, I just mean like I revamped it and I thought I was intentional about it and got some training for it. I partnered with someone. So I want everybody to say the fast path to success
The
Fast path to success
is partnerships.
is partnerships.
Events and partnerships are there's one more, but these are the first 2 fast paths to success. Here's why. Who can tell me why? Why do you think partnerships would be a fast path to success?
Because you network and you build off of their clientele, off of their people.
Network and build off of their clientele. Who else?
Broaden your audience.
And feel free to come off of mute, you guys. You guys don't have to. This is real informal.
More ideas are brought to the table.
More ideas are more to the table. Okay.
Say, you have to learn from each other, yeah.
Learn from each other. All that's good, but let me tell you, there's only 3 ways to build an audience, right? You can switch pins. You can buy, right? This is where you are investing money into buying your way in front of eyeballs, in front of people. You can build. This is the slow path, okay? Building your own audience. Usually when you buy, you build, or you can borrow. Here's why partnerships are so powerful. You already have an engaged audience with someone that audience already know, likes, and trusts. Does that make sense?
Right.
They already know, like, and trust, and they already have the attention of your potential buyers. So what I did was I partnered with a nonprofit strategist. All right. So the nonprofit strategist did what I did, but for people who were nonprofit. But because we were in the same coaching program, come to find out, her pain point was, well, we have for-profit businesses coming to us and they have nowhere to go. Ooh, me, pick me. I also partnered with someone who was a specialist in business funding. Right? Is this clicking? Give me a 1 in the chat if this is clicking. All right, so I partnered with people and with brands who were in similar or adjacent markets, but we weren't direct competitors. Is that making sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we got some 1s. So here's the thing. Partner with people who are in similar or adjacent industries as you to get in front of your audience quicker. Does this make sense why this is the faster path than building your own? I mean, you're going to build your own audience by doing this too. But if you solely focus on, I need to grow my followers on IG. How many of you are guilty of thinking that's going to be the path to success? I need to start a podcast, right? How many of y'all think starting a podcast was the fast path to success? Those are all good things. You need to be on social media. We just had a brand strategist come in and talk to my mastermind group and say that everyone needs a podcast. And I agree. At the right time, everyone needs a podcast. But if you are trying to grow revenue, if you are trying to grow, accelerate the growth of your business, events and partnerships are the top 2 ways that in my over 4 years of doing this and over 40 successful businesses launched, these are the fastest path to success. All right. Now there's one more path, and this is an expensive path, but it's a fast path, and it's ads. Everyone say the fast path to success
The fast path to success
is ads.
is
Is
ads.
All right. So when you're advertising, all right. So this is like digital ads. I actually recommend digital advertising. Why? Because you can target. But here's the key to ads. So I'm gonna actually break a funnel down for you guys at the end of this or towards later in our agenda today. But my first client, Joanna, came to me and she was a lawyer working out of a law firm here in Atlanta. And she came to me because she wanted to launch her own law firm. And so we started working with Joanna and we took over her marketing and we implemented a funnel. And the funnel consisted of a paid ad on Facebook and Google. And it brought them to a landing page to book a call, right? But the thing is that usually in business, now the lead magnet for her was that call because people who needed her services needed to obviously speak with her and consult with her to move to take the next step. Would you know that Joanna, after we implemented that funnel, Joanna went from, I don't know how much, I mean, she was making minimal per month to making over 30K per month with that one funnel. Then we optimized it and she made even more than that. And it's not very different than what you all hear. And we're going to talk about premium pricing. It's not very different than what you all do, right? So maybe she charged $5,000 for a deposit, even though lawyers work off of retainer. How many of you believe that you could create a product for $5,000 or you can get contracts for $5,000 minimum, right? How many do you need to get to 30K or your goals? So when we're doing ads, here's where people go wrong. They run a cold ad or they run an ad to a cold audience immediately trying to sell. And here's the thing, you have to give value. Everybody repeat after me. I have to give value.
I have to give value
before I receive value.
before I receive
value.
People want to receive value.
People want to
People want to see value
before they
give value.
And here's what that means. People care about one thing and one thing only.
What's in it for me?
Ooh, Devin. Go ahead. Give Devin a round of applause. People care about one thing and one thing only. What's in it for me? Okay? WIIFM. What's in it for me? Type WIIFM in the chat. I want to make sure that y'all are with me. People care about what's in it for me. What is the result? Number one, why should I care? Right? And then number two, what result can you help me get? Does that make sense? What result do you help your customer get? That's what I want to know. And so here's the best ads, and all the ads that we've ran that convert are not you trying to sell your products and services the first time. The first ad should be a lead magnet ad. We're gonna go over this more in the marketing section. Lead magnet. Who can tell me what a lead magnet is?
Something that intrigues them to and funnels the information into your database.
Yes, a lead magnet is something juicy that you give them in exchange for an email and a phone number. Why is an email and phone number important?
Because you can always market.
Devin, I know you know. Let me get some of these people. Brian, why is an email and a phone number important?
Because you have a point of contact where you can send them information in the future, I think, and market them also.
Correct.
Market to them, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys know that there was a study back in the day that says it takes someone at least 7 times to interact with your brand before they feel like they know, like, or trust you in order to buy? And did you know that more recently that number has increased because we have attention span of a freaking goldfish? So if you're banking on that one ad or getting in front of that person one time to make a sale, and it doesn't matter if you have a $10 product or a $10,000 product, it's going to be lower, right? That's going to be the minimum. In order to re-nurture people, retarget people, you have to get their information, get them in your ecosystem. Does that make sense? Is this making sense? Let me, come on, give me a wave if this is making sense in the chat. Okay, great. So the fastest path to success. Everybody repeat after me. The fast path to success
The fast path
Success.
is events,
is events,
partnerships,
Events,
and ads.
partnerships,
Do you
and
believe that?
ads. Yes,
Is that resonating? Does
yes.
anybody want to challenge me on that?
Yeah, I'ma challenge you.
Okay, who is that?
I'm playing because I know that's not true. You tell the truth.
Is that a BK? A BK is my
Yes. You tell the truth.
Listen, yes. Okay, so here's what I want you to know. All right. You have to take ownership and leadership over the success of your business. Do y'all agree? No one's
Yes.
responsible for the success of your business and your success other than you. And so you don't want to wait for customers to come to you. You need to strategically place yourself in position to attract premium buyers, and they will come to you. It is better to attract people to you than to be all up in their face and trying to get them to buy from you. Does that make sense?
yes.
I want you to become amazing at two things. That is providing value and being being a beast in your follow-up. All right. So none of these work if you don't provide value and if you are not a beast in your follow-up. How many of you right now are guilty of not following up with prospects or leads or clients? Give me a wave if you are guilty, right?
I'm guilty.
Yes, we've all been there. So now I want you to make a commitment to me that if you don't do anything else that we talk about today, you will become a master at these two things: providing value and being a beast in your follow-up. How many of you got all of my text messages this week? All right. I was going to make sure you were at this event. How many of you got all of my emails this week? I was going to make sure you were at this event, right? Here's another thing that I need you to do. And I talked to all of my clients about this before we start working together. And I have a saying that it's not hocus pocus, it's focus.
Okay.
Here's the thing, right? There's this saying. Anybody know the saying that a jack of all trades is a master of none? Well, that saying goes even further to say that
Jack of all trades is a master of none, but it's still better than a master of one.
Yes, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but it's still better than a master of one. Here's what that means to me. Highly successful people or companies are not doing everything. They master a specific pathway and area, then they delegate to a person or department to hyper focus on that strategy to optimize, then move to the next thing. Does that make sense? So, example, most large companies have a department or a person for strategic partnerships, right? I already erased it. For strategic partnerships. They've mastered the strategic partnership. Now we're going to create a department or a person for it, and then boom, they're going to go. Most corporations have a department or a person specifically for media buying, right? I'm gonna write this back up here because I need to visualize. All right. So they have partnerships, a partnerships department, or someone in charge of strategic partnerships. Then they delegate. Then they have a media buying department, which is ads, right? Then they have activations and live events team, which is events. Do y'all see the correlation between these Fortune 500 companies and this fast path to success? Do you see the correlation that you can do this as well? And here's the thing, I don't want you to do all three of these. I want you to master one, maybe two, right? They can work in, but start with one, master it, and then move on to the next thing. Does that make sense? Hey, I hope you enjoyed that content that you just watched. Over the last 4 years, my team and I have been responsible for helping small business owners cross the 6 figure mark and get to the multiple 6 figure mark in revenue in their business. And we are ready to help you do the same. So if you are ready to go further faster, if you're ready to accelerate your business growth, I want to implore you to book a business growth acceleration call where we will learn about what's going on in your business and I will show you how to get to the 100K mark or add another 100K to your bottom line in business. So if you are ready to go, if you are serious about your business growth and working with a team that can help you get there, I want you to click the link somewhere around this video, book a call, and let's talk about your success. Here's to your success. Let's go.